Before starting out, it's important to know exactly what you've got to work with. As an editor, you'll be given a lot of material, and it's so important to go through everything and screen it and organize it so that your creative process isn't hindered by looking for the perfect shot. Now let's take a look at what basic assets we have for this project so that we can get off on the right foot. After the script was drawn up and the style frames were created, the production team staged a shoot based on the design concepts from these pre-visualization materials. The shoot produced a little more than 2 hours of original footage of various athletes performing activities from many different camera angles. Our job is to create a 30-second commercial from all of this footage, so we're working with about a 240-to-1 shooting ratio, where we have about 240 times more footage as is going to end up in the final spot. Now that sounds daunting, but let's just take a look at what we've got. First of all, I have all of the B-roll footage of the athletes. Now, I've already gone through and separated each athlete's footage into a separate folder. And for the purposes of this course, I've trimmed down all of that content even further by more than half so that you would have a manageable package of exercise files. Additionally, just as a heads up, I've had to compress the footage rather dramatically to fit within the limited allowed space of the lynda.com exercise files. It began as beautiful 2K footage, which is 2048 pixels by 1024 pixels, and I had to compress it to SD footage at 720 pixels by 486 pixels. So just be aware that we're working with a much lower resolution footage than we started with for the purposes of this course. As you can see, we have 4 different types of sports that we're dealing with here. Now, I won't be able to show you all of the footage right now, but I thought I'd just show you a few samples of what this footage looks like through screenshots. Here are a couple samples from the soccer footage, from the stair climbing footage, from the football footage, and from the track footage. Quite a good sampling, lots of different angles, lots of different activities happening. And we've also got some other assets to talk about. We have some temporary music, and this is just music from a stock music library. We're going to use it for this spot, and then later a composer will score a different piece of music at the same beats per minute as this sample music. I'm just going to play this really quick so you can see basically what we're dealing with here. Okay, and we've also got some temporary VO or voiceover here, and this just provides some read-throughs of the script. It is not the final VO, but we'll work with it in the meantime while we craft the spot. And later we'll get professional voiceover to slot in. I'll go ahead and just play a little bit of this too.
You work hard and play harder. Water can't give you back what you lose.
We do have a couple of temporary things to work with, our music, our voiceover, and then we also have some temporary visual effects. This is from the Getty library, which is a very large stock footage library that allows you to use watermarked footage during the editing process. So I knew I wanted some sort of flashy transitions, and I'll just sort of play a couple of these for you here. You can see the watermark there. When we find out which one we want to use, we can go ahead and purchase it and the watermark goes away. Now we may pick up other assets as we go along, but this is a good starting place. Now again, for the purposes of this course, I've already done a lot of the organizing in terms of B-roll. It came to me as just one big folder without labels, but I've gone ahead and organized it like so. So it's important that you, as the editor, are involved a lot in the organization and gathering process early on. Again, some of this can be done outside of Final Cut like I've done here, but there'll also be a fair amount of organization to be done within the software, as we'll see in a future movie.